Hello traders, this is Mac Billion. Today is February 1st, 2015 and let's talk about the market. I have 5 stocks on my watch list for this week. I have USO, United States Oil. So this one, as you can see here, is about to get a crossover on DMI. And ADX is really high, meaning if we get a crossover right here on DMI and a break on Fibonacci 19, we can get a nice run probably back to the 21 or the 28 level. So this one is a nice one to have in your watch list. It has been going down for several days, as you can see, but if we break out the 19 level and a crossover on DMI, I'm gonna get in long for a short term since price is still bearish. This is a short term trade, in and out, get profits out because it's still bearish. This move down here is bearish. Now let's talk about CRCO. This is a Carrizo oil. This is another oil company. This one looks more bullish than the USO. Look at this chart right here. It's at resistance, this trend resistance, and DMI is really bullish and ADX is heading up, is now at 18. So what I'm looking here is if we break out this trend line, I'm gonna go long and on Carrizo oil, and my target is 57.79 Fibonacci 23.6 retracement. That's gonna be my target, and this is a nice one that you can have in your watch list. Now let's talk about Mastercard. Mastercard right here is trending inside this this triangle. Let's call it a triangle wedge. It looks like a bullish flat, and I think if we can get it right here on the bottom or on a breakout, it can be a nice trade. ADX is still bearish, but it's about to get a crossover on DMI, and that will be a nice trade if we can get it on the breakout or at the bottom of this trend line. So this is a nice one to have on your watch list. Now let's talk about Microsoft. Microsoft went down really fast. So what I'm thinking here is it's probably gonna start going up, and that's when you're gonna have to enter short. No here, because it's right here at support, and from here it can start going up, and that's when you have to get short in the bounce. Not right here, because you can get trapped in a bounce here because DMI is overextended on his directionals. So it's better to wait for price to go up, to bounce, and then gain short according to DMI. So Microsoft is bearish. It's bearish, but it's not a signal right here to go short, since it's very overextended to the downside. Now let's talk about let me see another one that I have here. GMCR. GMCR is gonna report this week, and I think it's gonna probably try to close the 118 level, or it's gonna bounce from here and enter inside this head and shoulder pattern. Right here you can see that it's bearish. It break down this neck right here, and it looks like it's gonna close the gap right here, or it's gonna go to 110 Fibonacci support. However, earnings reports are coming, and it can go either way to 138 or 110. That's all the two levels. Probably you can want to trade a straddle here. Now let's talk about the last one. Let's talk about Ford. This is a nice pattern right here. You have to have this one in your watch list for this week. It's inside the symmetrical triangle wedge, and I'm waiting to see if it's gonna break out or it's gonna break down. If the breakdown level is the target is $13. If the breakout level, the target is around 16 or 17. So keep an eye on this triangle wedge, and DMI is bearish, and ADX is heading up. So the bulls have more probability, the bears have more probability that it's gonna break down, but in here, since price is king, anything can happen, since you have to trade however happens here. Forget about the lagging indicators. So if you break down, target is 13. If you break out, target is 17. Now the last one. The last one is I have to talk about the S&P, and you can see here I'm gonna show you the daily chart because it's bearish. It's trending inside this racing wedge, and my thinking is because ADX strong and the minus directional is the one leading on here, I thinking that we can go easily down to support, which is 1810 or 19. That's the support I see in S&P mini futures and for the S&P 500. So market is bearish right now. There's nothing bullish short term. So you have to understand that. Long term, the market is inside a major trend, bullish trend. But short term, it looks like it's correcting, and we are waiting for a good entry on many stocks that we can enter long, because at these levels it's easy to enter short term, but not long term. So I'm watching. You can watch. You can put a triangle here if you trade uh, intradays, and you can wait to see if it's gonna finally break down and go to 1900 or 1810, or if it's just gonna keep moving inside the triangle and wait for a breakout next to the apex. We usually, when you have a triangle wedge, you usually break out next to the apex of the triangle. And it's right here. It probably wants to bounce right here, move sideways until it finally break down or it break out. So this is everything for today. Trade on.